Oh, that's comfy. Hi everyone, you're listening to the Jack Halford Podcast. I'm not sure what episode this is. It's quite late. It's about 20 to 9 right now, and I feel a bit tired. I started the week, for some reason, by running a marathon. I don't know why I ran a marathon. I just thought, I need to run a marathon. So I did it. And then I think I've been to the gym like 3 times this week, and I went on the first run this morning. It's Saturday today, so about 5 days after I ran the marathon. And it was hard, but I did do back yesterday. So I think when I was doing deadlifts, and I did deadlift over 200, but it wasn't a proper deadlift. It was a bit higher. It's like maybe like a 15-inch, like a higher one, like you do in a strongman comp. So I probably hit the glutes. So I think that's what made the run harder today, even though it was only about 4.5 miles. Yeah, there you go. I'm in a better place than I was a couple of weeks ago. I think I've got back into some routines now, and working away, I've started taking my running shoes with me, and I'm staying in Airbnbs rather than hotels so I can cook food. I'm trying to eat steak every day. Last night I ate a 43-ounce steak. That's about 1.2 kilos with a bone in. I didn't eat all of it. I saved some and the bone. I think I might do it tomorrow. Have that beef, do some potatoes and veg, do a bit of a Sunday dinner, use the bone and the fat and stuff to make a nice gravy, whiz it up, like a bony broth gravy thing. I don't know. Should be pretty tasty. I think the beef and the bones that you get in steaks, they're full of a lot of micronutrients that are pretty good for you. I eat beef like every day. I'm trying to bulk up again because all the running I don't like being small. I mean, I'm not small, but I feel smaller because I was heavier when I did the strongman. I'm going to try and do it cleaner rather than having like Ben and Jerry's every night. Just because I heard that Tom Hardy, when he was training for Bronson, did a tub of Haagen-Dazs every night. But I'm sure he was probably on gear and probably training, harder than I was. Although I was very, very, very consistent with my working out up to that strongman comp. So yeah, I want to get back bulked up again, keep running long distance. The plan is to do an ultra marathon at some point this year. I'm not going to sign up to an event. I'm just going to set up an aid station outside my house and do 4.5 mile loops. Maybe I'll create a bigger loop so it's not as boring, although I think a 4.5 mile loop is good. Having the aid station at the front of my house, I'll do it when it's a bit warmer but not too warm, like a mild day, no rain, maybe overcast so it's not too sunny. Although I do like running in the sun. You can't really pick the weather. I'll just get up one day and say, yeah, I'm doing it today. Although it's good to prepare, I think, by drinking a lot of water the day before. I'm trying to drink more water. You're supposed to drink about 2 litres a day. Yeah, 2 litres. A gallon is probably the best, which is about 4 litres. I say litres because I'm in the UK, and most of us talk about litres, even though it's all miles and yards and feet on the roads, which doesn't really make sense because we use a metric system with everything else. I like to figure out how many ounces my steaks are, because I just think saying 43 ounces sounds nicer than 1.2 kilos. I just like saying ounces with steaks. Yeah. I don't know why. It's just like an aesthetic thing. I quite like ounces, the look of it. But I like pounds, just pounds for like body weight. But I don't really know how many pounds I am now. Just know the kilos. Yeah, I mean, fucking measurement units are very interesting, aren't they? Very fucking interesting. I like to mix it up. This is all about measurements. I'm doing a lot of workshopping at the minute. I think next week I will be in Kent, Maidstone in Kent, Birmingham, and then nowhere else. Trying to set up some more workshops, some art workshops in Leicester at the Tree. That should be fun. I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to keep painting my microscopy series, anthropomicroscopy series, paintings delving into the human psyche a little bit. Not really done any painting today. I've just been procrastinating at the studio, but it's nice to be here. It's nice to be at home rather than on the road. Because when you're on the road, it can get a bit, too much. You get a bit too much when you're on the road. But what does help is exercising, eating right, and having a good sleep routine. If you get all of those kind of right, then your mental health is going to be good. I kind of like lying in recently, but I guess that's because I did the big run on Monday. So you can start getting up 6:30ish normally again. I'm doing the ice plunges. I tell you what, the ice plunge this morning was pretty difficult. After a minute, I wanted to get out. I stayed in it for 3 minutes because I knew it's better for me to stay in there for 3 minutes, and yeah, it was good. The feeling afterwards is good. A lot of the time, I kind of like to embrace the pain. I think embracing the pain and doing things you don't necessarily want to, like, I just wanted to go home. I didn't want to record this now, but I decided I'll record it now. It's going to make my life easier because I need to get this out. It's not necessarily getting it out to entertain anyone. I'm just getting out because I need to get it out. It's like, wanking off. You got to get it out sometimes. It's a great analogy. Yeah, pretty tired. I don't know whether it's good to be tired in the studio and then paint when you're tired. I've heard that some artists sort of stay up really late and then maybe they'll start to hallucinate with all the solvents and things, and that can help with the creative process, but it makes me a bit freaked out, getting a bit tweaked, not getting enough sleep. It's like being paranoid, maybe smoked a bit too much weed. That's what being overtired is to me. Could be good. Could be bad though. I don't really like to ingest many substances that alter my state of being, other than coffee and tea. Sugar, I guess. Anything stronger than that, including alcohol, I don't touch anymore. Although I do take CBD capsules. Sometimes they help me to sleep. Yeah, they're pretty good. You can get like the CBD flower as well and smoke that. I don't know how legal that is, but most people probably fine with that if you do it in an enclosed space. I don't really like to smell weed in the street. I don't like the smell of it. I don't really have a problem with anyone doing it. I think it's alright. I think all drugs should be legal, in my opinion. I don't think you should get put away for doing drugs. I think that it would be good if they could get them all cleaned up, and drug dealing's probably not the best line of work, is it, to be in? Quite dangerous. I thought about doing that before. I even brought a little Nokia and thought, maybe I could be a drug dealer. I got talked out of it by my friends. Yeah. Growing weed sounds like a fun idea. Won't go into that. Subtropical plants are fun to grow, and people get very geeky about it. I suppose I've grown some subtropical plants. Let's say tomatoes. I have grown tomatoes. My tulips and daffodils have just come up because we're in spring. I just want to change that subtropical plant. Northern Lights, maybe I grew that, I don't know. San Marzano tomatoes, very tasty. I had to chuck all of them away after the summer because they all went funny. They didn't really grow how I wanted them to grow. I'm looking at a painting that I've recently painted and I'm very proud of it. I don't know if I want to work more into it or not. I can't be asked to get up and show you, but it's quite colourful and it looks like an explosion. I don't know if I want to pull a face and a figure out of it, but I think I should just leave it abstract. I think sometimes leaving something abstract is better, because then the viewer, the person looking at it, the spectator, can maybe figure out whatever they want to figure out by looking at it. I don't need to pull a figure out. Just let them look at it and let them see things in it, and then they won't be able to unsee them then, and then they'll see that every time they look at it. Kind of like that. Yeah. Painting's great. I just didn't really feel like doing it today. Sometimes I don't feel like doing it, so I don't do it. But I like Saturdays as a rest day to get everything in order. So cleaning the house, tidying up, just getting the podcast done, because then that's one job done. Looking at the schedule, looking at the emails. Today I set up an investment portfolio on Trading 212 because I want to start investing. Now I've got these new jobs. I just thought, I should probably start investing money. I want to start writing more because I need to get that perception book out that I'm working on. That should have been out in January, but life has taken over a bit. I've had 2 exhibitions this month. I've been asked to be in a book. I don't know if I'll be in that. I'm waiting for a funding application thing to see if I've got in that this month. And as I said, 2-3 jobs. Doing the online thing, the podcast, running, ultramarathon. I want to do a strongman. I just got a lot of different things on, and then I'm trying to get that book out. I will get it out, because when I say I'm going to do something, I do it. Sometimes I just take a bit longer. Deadlines aren't really my thing. I'm a bit like, deadlines. I'm not a deadline man. I'm an alive line man. Does that make any sense? Yeah. Fucking hell, it's a bit boring, isn't it? I'm just chatting. Fucking hell. I'm wearing workwear today. It's battered. That's the point of it. I brought it like that. I think it's the style. I kind of like the style. And I don't really see many people in Leicester dressed like this. When you go to London, you see a few more people that like the distressed workwear. But they're all skinny buggers, aren't they? They're not really, lifting out. And I suppose I'm quite slim, but I feel a bit, I don't get the whole skinny thing in the fashion world. I think men should be more like, I like a thick neck, I want a thick fucking neck. Look a bit more like a monster. I want it like a monster. I think that's what's made me happier recently, is remembering my goals and not focusing too much on the goals, but more about the systems and the routines and habits that will get me to them. So more focusing on the process of life of everything that is going to get me to those goals eventually. Because the goal, once you got there, it's like, what do you do then? Well, if you just focus on the process, then once you get to the goal, you just keep doing the process. Because, you tick that off, but there'll be more and more different goals and things after those anyway. You just keep setting the bar higher and higher. It's sort of continual productivity, continual growth. Getting better, a little bit better every single day. Getting your protein in, getting your sleep in, doing a little bit of writing, a little bit of reading. A little bit better every day. It's not all at once. I've been doing the ice baths for 260 something days today. Not every day, I've missed a few days, but most days I've been doing it. And I get up and I don't want to do it, and I do it. It's an automatic thing. It takes 66 days for something to become an automatic habit. Getting there. With a few things, like writing every day, that's quite difficult. But it's not. Just fucking, start writing out, writing anything, and then eventually it will turn into something, and then make sense of it, and then, maybe I'll just have to start doing it. I think posting on social media about every single thing you do is probably not the best way to help with these new habits. Because once you stop doing them, people will be like, I need to stop. Or maybe not, who cares? I did that with a podcast. Like, I did a few episodes before I even shared it, because I thought, make sure it's a thing I definitely want to do. But then I started sharing it, and I thought, yeah, I think I'll continue to do this, and I'll be able to keep doing this. It's kind of like a solo therapy session. It's a nice excuse to just talk to someone and have a big conversation, ask each other questions. I like it, but I like doing them by myself as well. It's good idea generation. And I come out with stuff that I didn't think I was going to even come out with. Idea generation. Streams of consciousness. I listened a bit to the Duncan Trussell Family Hour this morning when I was on my run, and I quite like that. And I also quite like when he was on Two Bears, One Cave with Tom Segura. That's a good podcast. But they were just talking nonsense, and I really want to just talk nonsense with someone and just make it bullshit. So the other day I was taking a shit on a spaceship, and then the spaceship went to Mars, and then I saw some Martians. One of the Martians tried to put something up my arse, and I liked it. And then I thought, you know what? If that woman I fancy wanted to peg me, maybe I would push back into it. I mean, pegging, I kind of like. Not gonna lie, nothing to be ashamed of here. I kind of like it. I kind of don't like it, and I kind of do like it. I'm a bit on the fence. But if it's someone that's really like fucking hot, like, yeah, let them lick it, put a finger in. When they're like doing their thing. Kind of like it. I'm not ashamed of that. But yeah, the Martians like pegging you. And they don't look like aliens. They look like, real fucking beautiful, like soft, voluptuous women with nice round features. I like a big bum on a woman. I don't know about you. I love all women, but I've had sex with really skinny women and more voluptuous women, and I think that the more voluptuous woman, it feels better. I think it's because it's softer and there's like more things to hold on to, and it feels good. I recommend. I guess it's like a primitive thing as well, isn't it? Because when a woman's got big hips, they're more like strong. They've not got childbearing hips, and it's like a primal thing in a man to like want big childbearing hips in a woman. That was my water. Sorry about that bang. Oh, yeah. I love a big fat ass. It's great. Maybe I should do some more paintings about sex. I think, like, I don't know if I don't know if I enjoy it or not. I know I enjoy it, but sometimes I get too much in my head and I'm like, what do they think of me? Do they want to be with me? And sometimes I'm just like not in the moment. I think to really enjoy that kind of thing, you have to be in the moment, and it's always better when it's like super filthy and you like super just into it and in the moment, and you're not self-conscious at all, and you're just like fucking slapping and spitting and roping, and it's great. Hey ho. But I don't know. I feel like the same for that as it is with the drugs. For me at the moment, I need to focus on painting and running and all that stuff. Because when I was studying, I was not studying, and I was just fucking a load of different people, and it was great. I went to a sex party in a big warehouse in Hackney with loads of people, and that was an experience, and I don't know if I'll go to something like that again. Yeah, I don't think it's my cup of tea, but yeah, I did it. I think art school's a place where you experiment, and I definitely experimented with a lot of different things, and I think I'll continue to see strange things in my life, but hopefully try to protect my fucking head by not delving too much into this pleasure, because I think too much pleasure is not good, because once that pleasure gets taken away, you really want to keep it, and then you get like withdrawal, and it's like drugs, and you're like, ah. So doing stuff that is hard every day keeps you in a better place. I think you're not getting that instant gratification, and I think that's why sex isn't so pleasurable for me anymore. I want it to be. I think it's just about getting to a place where I'm comfortable being me, because I don't know if I am yet. I'm comfortable being me, but I want to just have more money and more freedom and autonomy, and be able to just go wherever I please a bit more. But I'm sure after a fucking good few months of working extremely hard, I'm going to be closer to that goal. I just need to focus on the process, like I said. I'm sure if I was living on another planet, it would be just as hard, but in like zero gravity. I think that, I don't know if having sex with an alien would be my cup of tea or not, but I like the idea of maybe dressing up as an alien. Yeah, I don't know. Sex robots. Maybe I could make some paintings about sex robots and having sex with aliens and stuff. Maybe that would be a progression in the anthro-microscopy series. Like, pleasure is something we often chase, and we don't chase pain, but we do chase things that can give us pleasure but damage us, that are self-destructive, like smoking and drinking and sex, can damage us in our minds and physically too. So pleasure damages us, but then those things that are kind of hard and painful but actually make us stronger, we don't really chase them. They are the things to chase, and when you chase those things, people that are actually fucking cool and healthy will probably be more attracted to you, because they see that you're not afraid to fucking do the hard stuff. Like the sex robots and aliens might be more attracted to someone that does the hard stuff, but then they're probably demons that are going to try and sway you from that amazing path you're on, and then you're like, oh, come and feel my fucking soft, voluptuous tentacles. No, I'm not going to fucking do that. I'm going to keep on track, mate. You could take your fucking voluptuous alien tentacles away from me, and I'm going to focus on my goals. Thank you very much. Yeah, nostrils. No, you know what's weird? Feet. Feet are quite odd, aren't they? Have a look at a foot. A foot's not that attractive. I kind of get the foot fetish thing. I kind of get that, but that's someone else's feet, not mine. Someone touches my feet, I don't like that. I kind of like, like when you're whining like a lady up in bed and you're like touching her feet. I kind of like that. I don't know if I've got a foot thing or not, but I think it's just touching parts of people that you don't normally touch is more intimate. So I guess you never see people's feet. Quentin Tarantino, he's got a big foot fetish. And he made that film From Dusk Till Dawn or whatever it was called, and had like a proper fucking sexy actress walk over like some tables and stuff, and I think she poured a drink down her leg and he like drank it off her foot, like it went off her toes and like went into his mouth. It's kind of like a bit of a raunchy, it's kind of a nice scene, to be honest. She was a very attractive actress. I think she might have been some kind of demonic, crazy, monstrous being, vampire thing or something. But I mean, aren't all very sexy women in a way. You can fall in love with the idea of someone. You shouldn't do that. I think that is what is easy to do when someone is very attractive, or you have an idea of who someone is when they're posing for pictures and stuff, and they're, that's the false version of themselves. It's almost like this weird version of themselves they've created to advertise themselves to the world. This is what I'm like and this is who I am. But it's not. That's just them with their fucking tits out and their arse in a certain position, looking all like nice, and sure they do look really attractive, but what about what's in here? Because that might be fucking nuts. And you don't want crazy. Like, you want weird and like loosey goosey, goofy. Fucking goofy women are great. I love them. You gotta have a sense of humour, like a fart joke or a poop joke. If you're not willing to laugh at that, I don't want to be near you. Fucking has a sense of humour. What I've found is I've been with like a good couple of like what you'd refer to as the bad bitches. They're not. They're just fucking sweethearts, really. They're fucking soft as shit. Like, it's all talk. All of them are just all talk. None of them are like, bleh. They're all fucking. Once you get them you go on a date with them, and you just realise they're soft as. You don't want that anyway. I mean, some people might want that like dominant woman thing. I'm not into that. I mean, like a strong woman, someone that can, lift weights maybe. Push someone out of the way, argue, stand up for themselves. Someone that can stand up for themselves, someone that isn't a fucking pushover. I like that, because I don't want them to just not because then they're being honest, and you need honesty. You always need honesty. You need honesty, else everything's shit. They're not going to tell you when they're pissed off, and then they're going to be passive aggressive. That's why you need a strong woman. Strong women aren't afraid of telling the truth, and telling the truth is important. All right. So if you've got someone that's all shy and they're not telling you how they really feel, that's a big red flag. Because you need to know how someone feels in order to not like make them feel shitty again. You need someone that doesn't get defensive when you tell them there's something that they've done wrong, or there's something that you don't quite like. They just listen to it and they're like, okay, Well, this is how I feel about it. This is how I feel about it. Okay. That's how you fucking communicate and have a healthy thing. That's what I'm after. But I'm not going to get that by chasing someone I like the idea of. You have to get to know someone in how they really are and see if you chill with them. And if you're not, then it ain't going to work out. And that's okay, because you learn something. You learn, well, maybe not that kind of woman. All women are different. There's not really types, but they're just shyer ones, the ones that don't really stand up for themselves, probably not the best ones. Any type of person, male or female, to go for. I'm quite reserved, but I'm weird. Like, I'm just holding back a bit sometimes. When I meet someone for the first time. Especially now I don't drink. But I think that, that's why I am. I'm quite quiet, really, in everyday life. I don't think I need to be loud. I like, with my mates and that, I'm a bit more loud and, but I don't have anything to prove. So I'm quiet-ish, especially in the gym. I started taking my shirt off in the gym because I started to see my physique is starting to get better, and I can see more definition. So I like to look in the mirror at the gym when I got a pump. Feels good, but also it gets quite hot in there, humid, and you have to take it off. I tend not to take it off if there's too many women in the gym because I don't want them to feel uncomfortable. Because then I sometimes I make them feel like they don't want to be there, and we want everyone to feel comfortable there. But if you're just lads, then I'm just saying, it's right. That's what it's all about. Meatheads. You find the biggest, most meatiest looking person in the gym will often be the softest and nicest. Probably because they're working out all the time and they can't be asked to have any confrontation. I think if someone's working out a lot, they can't be asked to fight. I find that especially with cardio. Like, I cannot be bothered to argue with anyone after doing a lot of cardiovascular exercise. Yoga is very good as well. Namaste. Booked some for next week, actually. My mate's going. Should be nice, should be chill, should be lovely. I very much like yoga. I think I like to keep the practice up with the yoga. The yoga is nice. Peace and tranquility to all. Namaste. 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 Do you think they do yoga in outer space? I bet they do yoga in outer space. Little Martians doing yoga in outer space. I can imagine the Buddha was some kind of alienic person who was just like levitating, like in his, like, I don't know what you call it, cross-legged position stance with the hands like that, sort of levitating up. I mean, you don't see humans doing that, but I can imagine alien sort of levitating above the earth. So maybe he did have 3 eyes. Maybe he did have 3 eyes, the Buddha. Maybe I should do a painting of the Buddha as an alien sort of floating above the ground. I don't know. Got all these ideas. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should. I don't know. What use is 3 eyes anyway? What use is the third eye? To see into a different dimension? Is it to see into yourself? Is it the self eye? What is the third eye? I don't know. I'm not even going to look it up because I like questioning what the third eye is for. Is it to see into another dimension? To see what is there but no one can really see? I think you can see what no one can I think you can see what others can't see when you start to question the world and start to slow down a bit, get into good routines. You start to see the things that people miss. You start to pause and start to slow down, and you start to look at the windows and the reflections inside windows of people rushing around with the blinders on, not really looking at where they're going, not really thinking about anything at all other than, I've got to get to work, got to go and do the thing to get the money to pay the bills, I got to get to work to buy the food. I like to pause sometimes and think, fucking hell, I'm going to die one day. Is that all I want to do? I'm a painter. I paint pictures and I want to write stuff and I want to expand people's minds and have cool conversations with people about deep shit. I don't want to just be like, I want to get to work and earn loads of money and invest all the money and make more money so that I can buy lots of pretty things. Nope. Although you need that safety and security, but sometimes it's kind of, you're like, maybe I could just float around a bit, maybe that's okay too. I've got a friend that I think is going to be moving to a bit of a commune soon. There's a test and you have to like live in a communal yurt or something for a couple of months, and then if you're okay and you can do that and they like you, they give you a spot, and then you can like set up a temporary structure and it's free and you can just live on the land and raise some animals and do whatever you want. Sounds fucking sick. I don't know if I'd do that, but I might go and visit her if she goes through with it and does it. Sounds like a fun thing. I like people that just get up and do shit, because life isn't very long. It isn't very long. So just think about that. Think, well, maybe I don't know. I don't think you really need to be as secure as you think to start a family. I think you can just do it. I think everyone's always, you think you're in a secure position, but then shit hits the pan, and you might have to move back in with your parents. You might have to do this and that and this. You're never really secure. It's like getting a new flat or a house and renting it. You have to like prove you get so much a month from. What if you lose your job the next month? Nothing's secure. Nothing's set in stone. It's all bollocks, and you've got to be prepared to that. For that. You got to be prepared for that. So if you just get used to doing hard stuff, then I don't think that you need to have a load of money coming in every month to start a family. I just think you need to be prepared to do a lot of hard stuff. Budgeting, making money stretch as far as possible. You just got to get good at meal prepping and budgeting and keeping the house warm. That's it. Keeping your family safe. I think people think you need so much money to do things and to start things, but really you don't. In reality, all you need to do is and then you got a little beautiful little newborn, and you can bring that up and you can walk it around the park with your love of the laugh, love of your laugh. Put it on the swing set, swing it with the child. I mean, that's dreamy. I love the idea of that. Starting a family, man. That's like one of my ultimate goals, but it's not something that I'm chasing. I'm just gonna enjoy the process, and I think it'll eventually lead to that if it's meant to be. I think that if I try and too hard to chase, and then I try and attach myself and cling on to someone thinking, yeah, she's the one, then maybe I'll ignore things, and then there's things that I shouldn't have ignored, that maybe she's a bit nuts. So you got to be very careful. So it's good to just focus on the process and just live your life and work really hard and look after your family and look after yourself, and then eventually things just happen that are good. A lot of bad things happened to me last year, but a lot of good things happened to me last year. I've learned a lot of lessons, and I've become 100 times more emotionally mature than I was a year ago. Thanks to my dad dying, God bless his soul, it's helped me to realize a lot of things. A lot of things I already knew, I just needed reminding of. Like in my head now, every time I'm mean to my mother, and I'm not wanting to be, sometimes I just am. Sometimes I just come out with stuff like, go away, I don't care, blah, blah, blah. I say to myself in my head, you fucking idiot, she's the kindest, most loveliest, softest person in the world, and she's brought you up and she's worked very hard, and she continues to work very hard to make sure that you're alright. She texts you all the time to say she loves you and are you okay, blah blah blah. You know, a mother is like, a good mother is a priceless thing, guys, and we should be very grateful. It's Mothering Sunday next Sunday. We need to make sure that all of our mothers are well looked after and know that they're appreciated and that all of their hard work is appreciated, because they do a lot of it. A lot of women do a lot of work that is unpaid. I mean, you know, I don't really care much about money, but we need to show love to people that do things out of love. If we don't show that appreciation, then they will not feel very good. You need to show that you appreciate the people in your life that mean a lot to you. You know, don't take people for granted, and make sure that you call them beautiful and you tell them that you love them, and that they mean a lot to you, because it makes them happier and more able to exist in this disgusting world. And it becomes more disgusting the more that you feel unappreciated, and you just become a slop and you don't care and you become apathetic. You can stop someone getting into that cycle in the first place by making sure that they know that they're appreciated and loved, because that's going to help build their self-worth up, and it should be fucking sky high for all these good mothers out there. You know what I mean? Like I was thinking earlier, I really want to help single mothers somehow. I don't know how I'm going to do that. I need to earn loads of money first, but it will be good to help people. I like helping people. I always want to help people. That's why my jobs are centered around education and helping people learn new things, becoming more curious, the art, helping people to be more curious, to help themselves with the writing, to self-improvement, the podcast, sometimes entertainment, maybe some idea generation, just helping people to think outside of themselves, or just, you know, just chill out and relax. We're all gonna die. Lean into the things you want to do. Make sure everyone that you love knows that they're loved, and everything's gonna be alright, man. Women, or man or woman, non-gendered specific, whatever you are, alien creature who's listening to this podcast. Pod means legs. Cast a net. Cast, does it mean wide? I don't know. Broadcast, podcast, leg wide. Pod, I guess it's called pod because the iPod and everything, it was on the iPod, and it's like an Apple thing, the podcasts. I think Apple started podcasts. Yeah, but I like them. I love them. I've downloaded 2 new books today. To be or not to gay. I kissed a man once. I didn't like it. He had stubble. It's funny, isn't it? I talked about pegging and kissing a man in the same podcast. I mean, I'm a metrosexual. Who cares? But anyway, the fuck was I on about? Jesus. To gay. I downloaded 2 new audiobooks. One was Rick Rubin's The Creative Act, or The Creative Way. I've seen a lot of clips and watched a lot of interviews with Rick Rubin, and I like him. I keep trying to buy this book on eBay. I keep sending ridiculously cheeky offers to people on eBay. They're not accepting them, so I got a free trial to Audible. Again, they sent me an email. I was like, yeah, I'll have a free book, please. Downloaded that, and then I was like, cancel it now because I'm not paying that every month. And then they gave me another free one, so I brought, with that token, Atomic Habits, which I've already read, but I gave it to a woman who I don't speak to anymore, because after my dad died, she stopped speaking to me. I'm sure there's probably some kind of traumatic thing. Maybe it reminded her of an event in the past with my dad dying. I don't want to blame her for that. I was still a bit of resentment and anger there about that whole situation. But, I'll let that go. She's just a woman. I'm just a man. We don't speak to each other anymore. That's okay. She can keep the book. I hope it helps. But this Atomic Habit book, written by James Clear, is a very good book, and it's what really helped me about a year and a half ago get into some very good habits that really set me on a good path towards good physical health, good mental health, and mental toughness. And it's hard, and sometimes it plateaus right down and you feel really low, but then if you keep these habits up, you get back up on that fucking mountain, and it's like that. It's never going to be a fucking straight line, but then that's why you fucking keep the habits up, and you keep trying to get stronger so you can deal with the lows better. You become better at realizing what type of coping strategies and mechanisms are good for you. It's certainly not fucking drinking and taking drugs or having meaningless sex to try and make you feel better. Anything that's instant gratification is not good. Wanking off to fucking pornography, no, not good. Is there anything worse than fucking do that? Of course do that if you want to fucking do that sometimes. That's not the worst thing in the world, but I feel like it's not good if you're feeling like shit, because it's just going to make you feel even more like shit. Like, what the fuck am I doing? I'm fucking wanking off to fucking pornography. But I suppose it's better than having meaningless sex with someone that you didn't even really know if you like or not, if they like you. I don't know. But the healthy ones, good to keep up. Man, I feel like I've repeated myself a lot about this healthy, unhealthy shit. But it's just something I've been thinking about recently, especially reading that book, Atomic Habits. It's so good, and that's what it reminded me that I need to be less goal-focused, outcome-focused, more process, system-focused. Just focusing on the things that I need to do every day in order to get a little bit closer to the goals that I've set for myself. Because I'm never going to reach the goals unless I actually do the work to get to them in the first place, am I? So do the work consistently every day and you'll be able to achieve pretty much anything. It's literally a lot easier just to do a little bit of work every day rather than try and become an overnight success. There's no such thing as an overnight success. That's just because everyone sees the success, but they don't see all of the work that goes into it beforehand. Of course they don't, because that's not televised. If that was all televised, there'd be nothing on. There'd be not enough room for it, because there's so many people working so hard every day, and they don't get medals. Like I was talking earlier about mothers, they don't get medals. They get one day a year, maybe 2 at their birthday, maybe 3 at Christmas. Mother's Day, birthday, Christmas. 3 days out of 365 days a year a mother gets. A little present, and a little kiss on the forehead, a little hug, and a little bottle of wine, and a little chocolate, and they're like, I love you, mother. Here you go, on these 3 days, they get a little bit of... Every day, you need to make sure that they know they're appreciated. And if you're mean, remember to apologize as soon as you fucking can. Even if you feel like you've been wronged. Because it's like, come on, man. Unless they're really fucking bad. Bullshit, man. That woman has wiped your ass when you were a baby and brought you up, and now you're alive and you've got them to thank for it. Yeah. So just remember that. Remember that all of the good people around you that keep you in a good energy and good place. Keep them around and make sure they're appreciated, and buy them flowers and make them feel good and look after them. Because as I said, we're all going to fucking kick it, and you don't know when they're going to die. They're going to live longer if they know they're appreciated. They're going to want to stick around. And yeah. People can't, You can't rely on other people to make you feel good. Don't drain people. Don't be a fucking vampire with these people, you know. You know, it's got to be reciprocal, these relationships. Sometimes you're going to need a lot of help, but you got to help yourself more than other people help you. You got to fucking help yourself more than other people help you, and so have they. And you got to reciprocate love, and kindness, and care. You know, it's like someone does something good for you, pass it on. That's a pretty good rule. You know, keep the momentum going. Someone buys you a gift, you buy someone else a gift. Just because. It's nice. You see someone give some homeless man some money, give a homeless man some money around the corner, I don't know. Just like acts of service. You know, pay for someone's coffee. Smile at someone, compliment someone on what they were. That's some fucking homework. Give someone a compliment this week, you know, especially men. Men don't really get much compliments. And don't be ageist. Listen to elderly people. As an old boy who goes to my gym, a lot of people probably don't like to listen to him too much because he does go on. I always make sure I listen to him. He's got a lot of life experience. When he goes there, he might not be able to talk to many people. So, you know, listen to people, man. And be kind. I was staying in an Airbnb this week. The woman hosting it, I liked talking to her. Great woman. Very good host. She's very active in her community. Volunteers. Works hard. She's travelled the world. I had a good conversation. Some people, they just don't like to listen because they're like, I don't care about, I've got my own things going on. But when you talk to someone and hear their story and about their life, it can really help you to think, oh, maybe I should go traveling. Maybe I should try that. And I think that's really cool that you've done that and you've seen the world. And you go into someone's home, you get an Airbnb and you get to go in someone else's home and see their world, see the way they see the world because of the way they've decorated their house and the way they do everything. It's kind of cool. Airbnb is like going into someone's house is like looking at a different painting every one. You know, it's a little bit of their personality is all over the house, especially if they own it and they can really like get everything in there. And even if they don't, they've got a lot of possessions and you can really tell. Especially with women. I feel like women are better at decorating than men. They've got that feminine touch, which I like that. It's another great reason to have a woman in your life, you know, because they add a little bit of a feminine touch to the house. They just do nice things and it makes a house a home, which is nice. It makes you feel good and safe. It's good. That's something I would recommend people do, is to make their environments they spend a lot of time in much nicer and feel good and comfortable in. Buy your nice little candles, reed infusers, fucking nice bed sheets. You spend a lot of time in bed. Third of your life sleeping. Invest in good quality sheets and bedding, man. Have some funky dreams in those sheets. And take a nice woman back to those sheets. She's going to like them. You're going to have a better time. Because she feels comfortable. She's going to... Nice. Spend money on the things that you use the most. And that are going to make your life better. Yeah, a better quality of life. That's what you should be spending more of your money on. And lessen the shit that makes it worse. It's literally it. Because I was thinking, you know, yesterday I brought a steak. It cost £27, and I started doing this might become a regular thing where I buy a fucking beautiful steak every week. Well, I eat steak like every day, but they're normally the cheap ones. But like every Friday maybe I'll do that. We used to get like takeaway pizzas. You spend about the same amount and that's shit. Greasy fucking shit. And it's not helping you in any way. But a nice big steak, you actually are eating a lot of, you know, it's good. It's good. It's good sustenance. It's good for you. You know, less shit, more good. less shit, more good. You know, consume beautiful things, good food, culture, media, conversations with beautiful people. Talk to someone you wouldn't usually talk to. Learn new things. Diversity. It's not bad. Multiculturalism. Some people don't like it. If you only get scared of it if you fucking listen to all the bullshit people talk about multiculturalism. Everyone is different, but if you're nice to people, they generally reciprocate. You know, that's what it is. Most people are alright, and we've got to take care of everyone. Everyone is fucked. We're all gonna die. So if we can just be fucking nice to one another, then life's easier. You know, being honest, being nice and kind and caring, and working hard. It's what life's about. That's what I've been thinking about this week. Makes me cry sometimes. Thinking about, like, when you get older people and they've done a lot in their life and now they've come to the end of it. It's quite a sad thing because they're going to kick it soon and they're going to really leave a hole. You know, it's quite sad, but it's cool that they've done so much. And I want to do a lot. And I am. Dwelling on the fact that we're all mortal beings isn't good. I think it's good to remember I've always got some kind of skull on me. I've got them on my hands and on my arms tattooed on me. Always. A reminder of death. Memento mori, I think, is the Greek or Rome. I don't fucking know. Just a reminder of death. Not too good to dwell on it, but to have it in your head, to spur you on to not stay too long in something too comfortable just because it's convenient, because that might wreck your life. Actually, it might not actually be the best situation to be in. You know, it's good to be a bit uncomfortable, like as I've said already. Discomfort is good. Not drowning, but a little bit of, you know, that's where growth happens. Yep. That's where the learning happens. And then you learn, you get better. These are all fucking common sense things. I'm just spurting common sense fucking shit. All the time. Haha. I'm not, like earlier on I was washing the dishes and I was just cleaning the house, making it look nice because it gets dusty and you need to clean your house regularly. And it makes you feel good when you're in a clean environment. But as I was washing the dishes, I was thinking about ego deaths, and I was just thinking, yeah, ego deaths are a thing, but then once you've had one, you're like, I'm enlightened, and then that's your fucking ego again, thinking, I'm enlightened. And then you become self-aware of that maybe, and then you're like, oh no. And then, like, I mean, you got to have an ego. You got to have one. You can't just not have one. You're not a person if you don't have an ego, I don't think. That's what a person is. A person is an ego. It's like you have this idea of yourself, and if it's not very good, then you might not even have a very good sense of self. Your personality, shit, your ego's like a bit, like, you don't have a very big one. I think it's good to have a big one. I think it's just the way you express it and the way you act. I think you can be kind and cool and have a big ego. I think that's good. Sometimes it could be overwhelming, but if, you know, overwhelming, it can be quite good actually. I think you just got to embrace that and, like, you know, fucking be overwhelming. Don't not be yourself. Be yourself. If you're not yourself, you're suppressing that to make other people feel comfortable. And then you're just being fake, and it's all just fake, and it's shit, and it's bollocks. Never be fake, never hide who you are and what you really feel like and what you really think, because you're just going to be around people that you don't really agree with, and that's shit. Bollocks. You got to be honest and true to yourself, and don't just do things because you fancy someone and you think they might think it's cool. That's bollocks. That's losing yourself. Don't do that. bullshit. Like, I have to check myself sometimes. I'm like, I've seen, if someone I fancied, I don't really fancy anyone. But in the past I have, and I've seen them like post something online, and I'm like, oh, maybe I like that too, or no, it's just because I fucking fancy that. That's shit music. I don't like that. I like fucking Mac DeMarco. That's what I fucking like. And I like rap music, 90s, Wu-Tang. I like fucking whatever. I like Cash is Dead. It's quite good. Fucking proper fucking All Hallows. Or Death's Hallows, or Hallows, City Slicker. Some of the fucking lyrics are horrible. Doing necrophilia and like kidnapping people and drugs and shit, and it's horrible, but it's good music, and I like singing along to it. I love it. I think it's great. I think it's funny. Yeah. I mean, it's almost like a painting or a film, a song. You know, when I'm talking about that, it's creating a story in your head and you're thinking about it, and it's an exciting thing to just think about for a minute or two, isn't it? And you think, all these kidnapping, a bit like crime films and TV shows, people fucking love them. But when it's music, sometimes they have a bit more judgment on it, and they're like, oh, this isn't a good influence. It's just a fucking song. It's an entertainment thing. It's like the jokes. When you have like a rape joke or something, oh, you can't say that. Or talking about disabled children, you can't say that. Well, you see, if you fucking pussyfoot around certain topics, then you really are kind of dehumanizing the people, these people, like the disabled people, the rape victims. You're kind of dehumanizing them a little bit. I don't know. You shouldn't dehumanize even a rapist. They are a person. Or like I heard this when I was visiting a concentration camp. Someone called Hitler a monster, and then the tour guide said he wasn't a monster, he was a human. And it's important to remember that these people are human, because all humans are capable of this shit. So, you know, that's why it's important not to dehumanize anyone, because that's what they fucking did. The Nazis dehumanized the Jews, so that the Germans, who, had the Aryan qualities, Hitler was like, you're the most beautiful people in the world, and that's how fascism works. You are the chosen ones, and these people are not even worth anything, and they're rats, and blah, 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 and you are the most beautiful. And if you're told you're the most beautiful and they're not, and it kind of dehumanizes them, and then you don't feel so bad about treating them like shit. This is fucking disgusting. It's disgusting. So don't dehumanize anyone. Don't dehumanize anyone. Because people make mistakes. That's a fucking big mistake, and I'm not saying they shouldn't be beat up and fucking castrated and their eyes poked in. But it's good to remember they're human beings as well, and that we are all capable of doing disgusting, horrible things. And if we don't look after ourselves, we might well end up doing those things. If we go onto the wrong path, hang out with the wrong people, we can do disgusting things, you know. I'm sure if Hitler got into art school, then maybe he wouldn't have done those things. But who knows? Who knows? Not fucking me. I'm sure you're not born hating a whole race. I'm sure it's the not getting into art school thing, because art school changes you, man. Actually, it kind of can make you hate certain types of people, rich people. I don't know why I don't like posh people, but I kind of have like this aversion to posh people, where I'm just like, I don't like you, I don't feel comfortable around you, you're plastic, you're not of this world, you're weird, you're alien, you're strange, you're demonic. Why have you got so much money and I haven't? And why do you sound like so? I just hate the posh voice. I don't like. It's not the money thing, because I like some people with money. I'm friends with my best mate. Plenty of funds, houses, and that, cars. But he's not fucking. Oh, hello. He's normal. You know? It's just the way they carry themselves. They're just fucking so disgusting. I hate toffs. I hate them. I hate them. They are people, but I don't like them. Maybe they're not people. Maybe they are aliens. Lizard people. And is that okay? Is that dehumanizing them? I don't know. Maybe it's okay with toffs. What the fuck? How am I saying it's okay to dehumanize toffs but not rapists? Maybe this is all a joke. It's all bollocks. I'm just speaking out loud. I'm just thinking out loud. Hey ho. This is a good pub talk, isn't it? A nice, if I drank, I'd be having a nice continental lager or a nice fresh fruity IPA. Not one of those horrible Green King like bitters, like the old IPAs, but like the new nice fruity ones. Not too hoppy like medicine, but just the right amount of hops. So nice, fruity, fresh on a summer's day. Beautiful, nice. A nice like pack of Marmite crisps or Guinness crisps, something like quite strong. Nom, 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 nom. And you're just talking about all this shit. And then you go home and you have a nice sleep and it's lovely. And you wake up with a fucking headache and you don't want to live. That's why I don't drink. Because I don't like the feeling in the morning. But I love the taste and I like having the chats. And then the smoking and it just leaves me on a path of shit. I can't. Because it becomes habitual and then I can't do it. But it's... Well, the drinking, not so much. That doesn't really become habitual. But it's just like if I started smoking again, I'd hate that. So I just kick it all on the head. None of it's good for you anyway. But I appreciate the tastes. You can get good non-alcoholic things and that. Yeah. Fags are so expensive. I'm not talking about gays, ladies and gentlemen. I'm talking about cigarettes. Like, just don't even fucking... Like, the amount of food you can buy versus a pack of... Just get the food, dude. Unless you're having a nice cigar. Because that's kind of like... Probably like pretty gangster, isn't it? Although, when I was into cigars, like, earlier last year... I was like smoking like a Monte Cristo Cuban... little thing outside with a nice pair of shoes on, a Hawaiian shirt and like nice sunnies on. And I was just in the sun, just like enjoying this with my coffee. Beautiful. And then this homeless dude comes around asking if I've got any money. I'm like, no, sorry mate. Smoking on my like Cuban, drinking nice coffee and my nice clothes with my gold tooth. He's probably thinking, what the fuck, man? Like, well, I spent it all on this cigar, didn't I? I didn't actually have much money. I was just like really not very good financially responsible. But I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do this because my dad's just died. I'm gonna treat myself because life is short. So I'm gonna, yeah, fuck it. Sometimes it's okay to indulge. Just don't fucking do it every day. Because then everything's going to be shit. But, I can see why those really rich, tough people would light a £20 on fire in front of a homeless person. I'm sure it's like some weird sexual thing. I'm sure they're getting off on that. It's kind of disgusting, isn't it? But I get it. But I would never do that because I'm not an asshole. But I understand they're just weak. They're just like, they're so weak that they get this sexual gratification from making other people feel like shit. That's what Tories are. They just love to they just get so hard and so wet by making the majority of people poverty stricken. They just really get off on that. And I just think that is so cool. It's so cool, man. You know what? Wow. Great stuff, isn't it? Rich people are not the problem. It's that type of rich person. And not even just rich people, some normal people that don't have a lot vote that way and act that way. They don't like other people because they're focusing too much on negativity. If you focus too much on negativity, you only see the shit. The fucking slimy shit. Don't. Everything is namaste. Everything is cool. Kids are getting blown up. That's not funny. But most things are fine. Apart from the kids getting blown up, but and the homeless people and the housing crisis. But we can all fucking change our own lives for the better with small steps. So I'd recommend reading Atomic Habits by James Clear and figure out how to get a free subscription with Audible, and then you can fucking get it for free and you don't have to pay and just cancel it, and then you got a free book. So get the fucking thing because it's good and it will help. And if you can listen to it, then you don't have to read it, because a lot of people don't like reading and it's hard to read. That's a thing that you can make into a habit. If you do it every day, it gets easier. But I would say get an audio book, because then you can just stick your earphones in and listen to it when you're cleaning your house or just lying down. And then you'll be getting this stuff in your head and you're like, I can fucking do anything if I just do a little bit of work every day. And then before you know it, you're where you'd never think you would be. Yeah. That's how you do it. That's how you get real good, real nice. Yeah. I had a Mac and Cheese today. I had a little double cheeseburger. A little bit naughty. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Saturday's my rest day. I allow it. No one's perfect. I'm certainly not. That's another thing, actually. Believing people are perfect is not good. If you believe that people are perfect, it's like that whole thing of enjoying the idea of someone or liking the idea of someone. If you think that someone is perfect, you're intentionally ignoring their faults. Everyone's got fucking faults, and faults aren't a bad thing. You know, I really like some people's faults. They're cute, and you like them. That makes them more attractive. Sometimes you fall in love with the bad qualities of a person. They're not necessarily bad. They're just different. You know. So to call someone perfect isn't good, because it's also sort of putting you down a little bit as well, and putting everyone else down a little bit unintentionally. It can be a nice thing to say. It can kind of be good to think of yourself as perfect, but also not, especially if you're fucking not. But it's good to do the positive self-talk, but to remember nobody is. That's how fascism starts. If you start thinking certain people are perfect, very dangerous. Very fucking dangerous. Yeah. You ever watch Derek? Derek's a good one with a Ricky Gervais. I like that. It's good. Kind of like Ricky Gervais. He's funny. He is. Yeah. That's another thing. Like, people get offended by all that comedy stuff, and I'm just like, yeah, but are you? Are you? I mean, come on, man. That shit is funny. It's like Little Britain. Like, it's a bit like, but it's funny, and I enjoy it, and I continue to enjoy it, and I don't care, whatever. I mean, sometimes I see things now that I watched years ago, and I think, ooh, that's a bit, because I've changed. But it's good to just Get out of get all of this like, oh, you can't enjoy that because of this out your head, and just fucking enjoy something because it's funny and to laugh makes you feel good. Like the other day I went to this comedy thing with my mate Emily, and it was great and we enjoyed it, and it was good to just watch comedy and not really think about anything. It wasn't very risque or anything, but comedy's great, and it's one of the best art forms in the world, and it gets you out of your head, just in the room, in the moment, laughing and enjoyment, pure bliss, laughter, the best state you can be in. Sometimes laughter is healing, truly is. It's so good. Like, treat yourself to a comedy flick. Do it. What time is it? Wow. It is 5 to 10. It's almost 10 o'clock now. I'm going to stop this. Thank you very much for listening to my ramblings. I hope you enjoyed hearing about pegging and aliens and self-improvement. Yeah, I enjoyed chatting to all of you beautiful people. Thank you very much. I really enjoyed it. I'm going to try and work on my... I don't think this sounds like Trump at all, does it? It's tremendous. Tremendous. Anyway, thank you for listening. You're a beautiful bunch. I really like you. And yeah, I can't do it. Come again. That's a poo. A poo off the stairs. Let's talk about a poo for a second. How can you cancel a poo? Yeah, I get the stereotypes and everything, but it's a classic character. You can't just get rid of a poo. Thank you. Come again. Classic character. Simpsons Hit and Run. Classic fucking video game on PS2. We used to rent the games. We didn't buy them. We used to rent them. You're gonna afford to buy the games. You rent the games for a week or two. Oh my god, Hit and Run, man. Oh, and it's like this whole, in my head, I'm just like, that was my childhood. Skateboarding, Simpsons Hit and Run, fucking like skate parks, Jackass, BMX racing, like looking at the older teenage girls with the mini skirts and the tattoos and the smoking cigarettes and you just in their fishnets, and you're like, whoa, yeah, BMX on the street, listening to like fucking, I don't know, Arctic Monkeys or like Eminem or something. Yeah, a poo. Rest in peace. Thanks for listening, guys. Big love, much love. Look after your mothers. Have a good Mothering Sunday next Sunday. I'm going to try and get another podcast out. Remember to love your mother. Mother's also a good band. Frank Zappa. Very fucking interesting dude. Man, getting all the fucking ideas now for talking about different subjects, but I've got to stop this at some point. Got a dry throat. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.